So you had a knobby on the Lynx.
I did.
And you would ask like, oh, can you swap the tire? And we're like, oh, sir, we have to. My name is Hayden Wu.
Hi, my name is Sho.
And I'm Khoi Tran.
This is Jesse Garnier, absolute legend in the PEV scene. You also run PEVRA.
The Personal Electric Vehicle Riders Association. We do advocacy for inclusion, safety, and legality for PEV everywhere.
So today we're talking about the Veteran Lynx, distributed by eWheels, but it's manufactured by a company called LeaperKim. They've only had a couple wheels released. They're one of the younger EUC manufacturers out there, but for a really good reason.
They used to be the GOAT engineer.
They decided to start their own company. The first wheel they released with overwhelming success, called the Veteran Sherman.
It was one of the first 100 volt that pretty much no issue.
The proof of that is that there are so many still in service today.
Then we had the Abrams.
Yeah, so,
Oh, yeah, that was pretty sure that's a miss.
when you outsource your motors and you have hall sensors in there that fail, people are gonna fall and people are gonna hurt themselves. There were a lot of developments in that Abrams that are underappreciated.
And then they came out with the Sherman S. They changed the roll cage up, they changed the frame, they changed their metals, but the biggest change was that suspension.
The Sherman S basically perfected the fork suspension.
They didn't just grab something off the shelf like every other EUC manufacturer was, and then they put out the patent. It was their first 16-inch wheel.
Exactly, you have a ton of nimbleness, great off-road, great on street, as long as you don't need to go above 50.
They put 126 volts into it.
That's one of the torquiest wheels
Dude,
on the planet.
it's crazy, right? What's next? We're finally at the Lynx, 151 volts.
Dude, this wheel is f***ing fighting me, man.
Oh my God. Come here on your left. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go.
$151 volts is a lot, yeah. I'm gonna make it really simple. More voltage means more speed.
Volts times amperage equals watts, and watts are power, and power is what moves us.
Having a higher voltage doesn't really affect the commuter. They're just always performance related.
The Goad Gotway wheels, you have an 80% power beep. The original Sherman was a 70%. These are safety beeps. If you're hearing the beep, if you're at that threshold, you're good. What you can't do in those beeps is give it the extra lean.
There is an entire culture around pushing the beep.
Well, that all comes from, I think it was 2017 or 2018. It was a rider in Miami on a Tesla V1. Whizzes by the camera with beeps blazing and then meets the ground.
That mentality, and actually even having to worry about it, is like kind of disappearing with these faster and faster wheels like the Veteran Lynx.
Like, people just love talking about speed no matter what. Anytime you have a wheel come out, you say, how fast does it go?
When we take away some of those risk factors, I think it almost introduces the opportunity for more reckless behavior, because the best riders make things look very easy. And I will assure you at that speed, they are not.
Holy shit. The other thing that's incredible about this battery,
The brand new cell that getting into the EUC community.
50S.
Overall, it is damn improvement from 50E. The one issue we have with 50E is just the discharging rate.
Most wheels at around 50-ish%, you kind of lose your fun miles. You don't have as much juice in the wheel just trying to get out.
50S, just that one perfect cell that can do 45 amp, and 50E was around 15.
You're sagging way less, and the power delivery is way, way stronger on top of that. You'll still tilt back on 50S, but it means you'll hit that tilt back when you're truly down there.
So even though I was only at 2,700 watt hours, I was getting more out of my wheel because I didn't feel like I had to go home immediately.
If you're a casual commuter, you won't feel a thing.
But for performance riders riding at the edge or stretching those distances, yes.
So let's just talk about specs and amenities. It's nice not having something made with glass and duct tape.
Like a real Johnny summer wallet, now she think a new answer. Whoa, telling me she wanted me to hammer. Trying to get saved, baby, I am not the answer. No, I can never trick on.
Yeah, totally fine. Can I get you guys to move forward?
With a kiss on my lips, like, I am not a man with a limp. I'm a man with a gift, and I'm doing my shit. Like, tell them I'm the man in the city, and my bank account bigger, and my body count bigger. That's without a doubt.
Okay.
Now I'm 100 steps ahead. That's
Really
a lot
hard.
of mouth. That's a lot of clout. What you all about? What you done about?
God.
You a boy scout. I'm a big dog.
Okay, I can't do this right now. My legs are too tired.
Turn it off, bro.
I really appreciate the function-first design of LeaperKim.
Build quality is amazing. Everything fit where it belongs. Just a lot of screw.
It's got plastic bumpers. They're very replaceable.
Everything else that I've seen and all the potential repairs I could think of, tire swap, bearing swap, stuff like that, all looks pretty straightforward, and that's really important. Silicone gaskets on everything, really good waterproofing, connectors are all good. I would trust riding this in like a downpour.
It's a 20-inch wheel that weighs as much as a Patent or a Commander Mini at 88 pounds.
Magnesium provide like the closest to carbon fiber in terms of lightweight, not brittle, but not gonna get dent, and it's a lot easier to manufacture.
It's only got 2,700 watt hours of battery. That's kind of actually my personal sweet spot. I'm a city rider. I don't want a lot of battery weight.
The longer riding can be impaired by a smaller battery, but the bigger factor is not the battery, it's the charging speed. Much as like electric cars now, we're charging them at 3 kilowatt.
If we're charging insanely fast, then why not shave the battery off?
Finally, I've achieved suspension.
Got 90 millimeters of travel. The Lynx uses a progressive spring, so you don't bottom out as much. And that's a really big deal when you're jumping, for sure.
The suspension is very cushy. It's like a memory foam mattress, exactly.
I don't want to spend all my time f***ing with my suspension. And I don't, because I don't have to on my Lynx. Right out of the box, step on it, felt great.
Headlight for Veteran, that's like one of the best features. Adjustable, bright, that's a win for me. Rear light is a
Total waste of time, nobody's looking at that. I should not have to throw a $40 accessory on a $4,000 wheel just for basic safety.
It's tough to market a pad to enthusiast riders. We have our personal preferences. We have different reasons of riding. It has a toe grip. Let me tell you, I took those pads off and the toe grip off immediately.
Yeah.
I could not lean forward on the wheel because the toe grip blocked my shin.
When you are a more advanced rider, you find yourself torquing your wheel in places that aren't necessarily where the pad manufacturer thinks that you're going to be doing it.
So if we're talking about pushing the limit of a wheel, these stock pedals will not do that for you. The studs are tall, so they're nice, but they're not that many.
Yeah.
They're not as grippy as, say, like having, countersunk screws or anything like that. These are big enough for most people. E-Rides makes alternate pedals for these, which is pretty sick.
I actually love the kickstand. You have to actually try to knock it over.
I could see it being a little leaner.
the display. It lets you change a lot of the settings.
It's not a touchscreen. It doesn't have profiles.
The interface is poor. It's Casio 1992.
Trolley handle perfectly made to fit.
You know, it's got a nice little spring in it. You push the button, comes up just enough. It's a little jiggly. You know, if we're paying $4,500, why does my trolley handle jiggling around? So with all this said, the most important thing that we have to talk about, ride feel.
You keep it natural, stay in your bag like you wearing satchels. Hey, baby, you a godsend, just missing the sandals. But still, you ain't missing much. Put your hands on my back, that's a different touch. Put your work on my plate, I don't skip the lunch. I don't skip the brunch, not the dinner neither. And we hella close, not a centimeter. Getting in between it, so you two turned up. Never turn down though, when it's big energy, when I come around though. So, don't ever switch. Know you've been looking, won't find it like this. Know you've been looking for the head of them curves. I'm Jimmy Johnson with this.
If you're trying to improve your lap times on the track or downhill runs in the dirt, the Racebox Mini S is the fastest way to get faster. Cutting-edge GPS mirroring the results of official track equipment. The drag meter measures all of your PV stats such as acceleration off the line, decelerating into a corner, or top speed on a straightaway. Built-in storage allows the unit to record laps without connection to your phone. Simply connect to the app between laps to check your stats and times. And tons of other features to level up your riding. Sorry, I can't with the smile. Use code AUTHENTIC15 to get 15% off any Racebox at racebox.pro.
Is the Lynx fun to ride?
Yes. Thank you.
Let's talk about the weight distribution and stability.
Yeah. The Lynx is exceptionally balanced.
The coolest part is the magnesium alloy.
Oh.
It's so light.
I think the two wheels that occupy the same space now are the ET Max and the Veteran Lynx. They're separated by a good 20 pounds. And it's a 20 pounds that affects the ride, it affects the comfort, it affects the ergonomics. It makes it a better experience, no question.
Huge difference. How does it feel at high speed?
Feels great to me. I know some people have had some issues with wobbling.
It's not a bucking bronco. It is like this thing that you might be aware of, but it's not gonna really matter that much to you. But I do think it's because the weight in the Lynx is slightly above where its center of gravity is.
It's a high wheel, yeah.
Acceleration and deceleration, torque.
With these high voltage wheels, you can lean farther than you've ever been able to lean before. The firmware in the Lynx limits that acceleration. One thing you don't want ever is to lean forward and have so much torque directed at the tire that you lose traction, spin out, and fall on your face.
0 to 15, 0 to 20, it's kind of a slog, but then it goes from 10 or 15 to like 45, like you didn't even notice. But then as soon as I try to go 45, 50, it doesn't want me to. It's not giving me push back. It's just giving me this much lean, and then it just stops.
I agree. There is a significant amount of performance above that. I enjoyed it. I spent a lot of time there. I think you can push through it. I think it becomes more difficult to do so. I think it is based on firmware. I think it is a safety feature.
As a design choice, I respect that because frankly, most people shouldn't even be doing that, but at least give me the option.
One of the things I appreciate about LeaperKim and the Lynx is that their firmware adjusts over your battery cycle. That to me is the product engineering side, and that is one of the things that LeaperKim does and is innovative.
It's an art in of itself.
It absolutely is. LeaperKim, I would love for you to document some of this for us because we were kind of riding in the dark about some of these things.
Carving and turning with firmware that's more prioritizing rigidity, more safety, it kind of makes it hard to trampoline out of a carve in a mode it's known as or transitioning to the next one.
If there's one thing I don't appreciate about LeaperKim, it's that they locked in some of these parameters that Bigode is now giving us adjustability to. And I think there's no question that those ride feels are different. I've had people accuse the Lynx of being sluggish, and after they catch up to me, they express that their opinion has changed. I think there is some truth to what they say.
Now that we've laid everything out on the table, is this the wheel for you?
I ain't been by the pros, I came to talk. Snumbling most, cheese cracks and parks. Dig it to the hit and the bottom, the blue cars. You can sniff the mirrors and toilets all over town. I made excuses for you too many times. You know I love you forever, but that's beside the point. I'm sick of watching you crash like you're a Bitcoin. Can't help you help yourself if you don't wake up. See, you're not yourself. Can't help you help yourself if you don't wake up. I'm gonna lose myself.
I'm very guilty of whatever wheel I'm on is the best wheel that I've ever had.
I know, I do the same thing.
I forgot how much I love this. This is great. You know, been doing this a while. The complete package of the Lynx is the best wheel, you know, that I've ever ridden. And if we're off a couple of percentage points above what the max of what it can do, most people are gonna be fine.
That's the thing is anything we had problems with, 95% of riders are not even gonna notice these things. But they're nice topics of conversation for us because we want to build better products. We want to iterate. There will always be personal preference. That should never go away. That's how any medium thrives and improves. But the Lynx feels like an amalgamation of a lot of things we've learned in the last few years of UC development.
It's not quite a culmination because there's more to go from here. But as far as a plateau, a level that Veteran has reached with an all-purpose wheel, and I do think that that's what the Lynx really is. You know, it's light enough, it's versatile enough, the performance is there. And eventually we will get to a point, you alluded to this earlier, where cutting a wheel out by over-leaning will just be a physical impossibility. Speed equals safety, and I can't wait to get a little safer in the future.
Faster wheel, less cutouts.
If it's real, you know it's gonna come back. It's that season, but there's no comeback. If you let go, then please don't run back. Cause if it ain't love, then we don't want that. Yeah.
Make sure to sub to Authentic, the channel. This is the hardest part.
Yes, yeah, I know, it's that package.
This
Right.
is the least authentic
To get
channel.
This is so unauthentic. Please subscribe to the
Right.
channel if you want to see more from us and support our work. Shout outs to eWheels. Thank you so much, Jason, Liat, for making sure we're protected, and Senna for making sure we're always connected.
I see everything that you guys do for the community. I see everything that Flow Pack or Intro to Speed or LAPEV or AVS or Toronto E-Riders or anybody, everyone's doing this weird little thing to push that knob forward, and I feel like a dumb. If I can't do all those things, how do I help? You find the people that can, and you give them the opportunity to do the thing that they're best at. You know, with Steven, it's like, how do I take his skill set and blow it up on a macro level to help your message? How do I get your message to translate to the Mario racing thing over here, which will translate to like legalization for the right reasons over here? You know, infotainment is the word we like to use, right? But it's so hard.
It is. It is. But you guys also have something I think that is some of that special sauce, which is an understanding of not just the quality, but the perception of quality and how it manifests itself visually and the sound. And there's some things about video production and storytelling, they're really hard to teach. Hold on to that agency. You know this. You want people coming to work with you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that starts to come as you build that brand, as you build that mindscape.